Just going to do a quick talk about this little car visor organizer that I've got on my rig right now. This is a cheap $20, maybe $25 Canadian visor I got off Amazon. Barbarians car visor organizer on Amazon. Currently unavailable, but I'm sure it'll be back. So it's got your standard MOLLE attachment stuff for whatever you might want to stick on there. Very handy for slipping in pocket clip type stuff. And some Velcro for whatever you might want to Velcro on there. These two straps, which attach to the visor. I trimmed one of them off because it dangled quite a bit. In fact, why don't we just... My visor's not getting any smaller. Come on, Manix. There we go. And now we've got that. So, this is nothing special. Say 20 bucks. Barbarian carved visor on Amazon, Canada at least. I'm sure you can get better stuff in the States, maybe more variety. But this is just, there's better versions of this, and there's also much better setups for this. I've only had this for about 6 months. It was something I'd seen on Fieldcraft Survival, heard Mike Glover talking about it, and thought, you know what, for what it costs, I've got stuff that I could put in there. Why not just have something there? And that if, in the odd case that you were to ever go off the road and like find yourself waking up in the trees or like in the water, on here I've just got a basic few things that might help me in that situation. I've also, in the door of my car, got a little med kit, cat tourniquet, and that's kind of there within reach as well. At some point, maybe I'll do a quick overview of how I've got my Mazda CX-3 set up, which is nothing fancy, but I've got a lot of things in convenient places in case of emergencies. On this rig in particular, I've got, right off the bat, we're looking at this cold steel medium Luzon. What did I pay for this in Canada here? Maybe 60 bucks, 70 bucks? Got it from House of Knives, Canadian online retailer. This was just something I wanted to pick up for a backup. I picked this up months ago, probably 4 or 5 months ago before I got my Manix. And this Manix 2 it's supposed to be replacing my Cold Steel Recon 1, which has been my long-term hard use EDC for many years, which if I can find it... Aha! So, yeah, there's the Recon 1. But I wanted something that if, let's say, I were going for a quick, I don't know, not that I run that much, but going for a jog or doing something like that, maybe in athletic shorts where I didn't want this, like, 6-7 ounce monster in my pocket, which, anyways. The Luzon is a little bit slimmer. It's definitely much lighter. Not much less intimidating looking, not much shorter either. It's, again, sort of designed with self-defense in mind. This was a Filipino martial arts inspired design. It's got this little slide lock here to back up the liner lock. So that's just a plastic liner lock, which looks very inferior to most liner locks, and liner locks aren't the strongest. They're pretty much the weakest locks you can get as it is. But with that little lock in there, it keeps it from sliding. And we'll do a little video on this too. I've put this through some abuse, but it needs a little bit more before I give it a real solid hard on gear review. That medium Luzon pretty much stays in there for a backup knife or something like that if I were to ever lose my Recon 1 or whatever I had on me. And I just have something there in my visor for if I needed it. The other knife that I have on here is the Cold Steel Game & Trout. And, I'm not that big of a Cold Steel fanboy, believe it or not. It's just they have very affordable, high-quality knives. After using this Recon 1 for about 8 years, I have a lot of confidence in their products. So this is a very simple neck knife, very, very lightweight, just got that little Karambit ring, and you can pretty much put that anywheres and forget about it. Coated Osate, fairly stainless, not the most stainless, but with that coating on it, I'm sure you're not going to have any issues. I've had this, actually I ordered that the same time as I ordered this Luzon. Just again to have something a little more small and portable, stick somewhere. And if I wanted to wear a neck knife, that's a very manageable one. But the main reason I've got this is to keep in this visor. When that is mounted on my visor, and I'm looking, if you can imagine, you're looking top down at it, I keep that tucked in. I've got it lanyard looped to the MOLLE, and then tucked in like this, actually. Like this. Yeah, that's it. So when I'm looking through my windshield, I can kind of see that loop sticking out there, and it's just there. It's maybe annoying to some people, but the idea is if you are in a situation where you need to, oh my god, I'm going down in the water, I need to cut my seatbelt, that is a pretty intuitive thing to grab and then do whatever I got to do. obviously being careful cutting a seatbelt with a knife, but I've got a pretty good reflex to draw a knife and then put my back to the blade stock. So pretty good habit to get into, to always, cut away from you. Anyways, that's there for emergencies, and if whatever emergency came up that I needed to grab a knife very quickly without having the range of motion to, say, get in my pockets, that's a pretty handy spot to keep that. Aside from that, I've got this cheap little tactical pen and flashlight, which came in like a cheap $20 Stealth Angel survival kit. That's just one of those, $20 Instagram advertisements. You seem dumb enough to buy this, and I am. So I picked one up, threw it in my car. It's got a little compass and a little measurement multi-tool thing, and that flashlight for $20, the value. I mean, it really, I've no issue with that purchase. That's just, again, little cheap flashlight with a few options. It's got your strobe and your three different intensities, but that's a pretty common basically shell model. Little diamond pen sharpener in here. It's there in case I need it. I've got different sharpeners, but that little pen sharpener is very slick, very low profile, and that diamond grit will get things done. And then I've got a Chem Light in here. Very simple. You can get them off Amazon. It's very tactical, cool, nerdy crap that a lot of people will make fun of me for, but I keep them sticking around in the odd place, because if you do wake up in a ditch or, starting to submerge into the ocean in your vehicle, you might just want to grab this and give yourself a little bit of light. And they're not that expensive in the odd time you might need one. And you've got light for up to 12 hours in a very low light visibility setting. It's going to help you out a lot, but it's not going to, expose your position if that's something you're trying to avoid in that kind of bug out situation, which sounded a lot crazier until 2020, right? So the only other thing I've got in here right now is a Mylar space blanket. I might need that for someone else if I show up to a car accident. I've got multiple ones around my med kit and such, but that's just a cheap, easy thing. Buy a 12-pack of them and stick them in a few places. If you do end up waking up in a cold situation, that little Mylar layer is going to be sure as hell better than any cold, wet clothing you might have on you. So, the other nice thing is if I'm carrying more than one knife on me, which sometimes for the purpose of this channel now, I'm carrying multiple knives so I can use them out in different situations. And if I'm going into the liquor store or a mall or something like that, going armed to the teeth to pick up your meat and groceries or whatever, it's just asking for trouble. Especially the odd situation that you ever were having to defend yourself. In Canada, at least, you're really screwed if you say, oh, well, I was only carrying this on me in case I got attacked. Okay, well, now you're carrying a weapon and you're going to go to jail. It's the way it is in Canada, at least. If you do have 3 knives on you and you do defend yourself, if it were me in that situation and I ever got in that situation, I'd probably start chucking all my knives away except for the one that I might have used, because it's going to look like you were looking for a knife fight. You know what I mean? So it's really intention-based in Canada. So a lot of the time if I'm going somewheres, I might just stick my extra knives and just stick them on there. So they're right in my face. I know where they are. And then, just pop them back in my pocket when I get back in. If I slip this off my visor and just throw it in my back seat, next to a lot of my other machetes and outdoor tools, saws and that, if I ever get pulled over, that's probably what I'm going to do, because I don't want knives right here within my face, within my reach, that cop can see, because that's going to make him or her nervous. And that's something that they should be looking for right away. And I don't want that to escalate the situation. I'm not that much of a lawbreaker. I've never got a speeding ticket before, so if I get pulled over for going a little too fast, I don't want that minor incident, which is probably going to end in a warning, to become a get out of the car please sir situation. So what I'm going to do if that situation ever comes about is take this off, throw that in my back seat, open all my windows, and point to all the sharp pointy stuff back there and say, hey man, just want to let you know I'm a forest technician. This is all my tools back here. Just want to let you know they're there. I'm going to keep my hands right here where you can see them. Are you comfortable? Okay, perfect. Let me know if you need anything else. And that's how I plan on playing that if it ever happens. Just something to be aware about if you do have something like that right in front of your face. Just be aware that a sharp, trained eye might notice that and identify that as a threat. So that's it for this. This is just a quick overview, and this is very new to me, and I'm not an expert prepper or anything like that, nor do I really want to be labeled as a let's get ready for the apocalypse kind of guy. However, what the hell, I'm kind of halfway there anyway, just because I like fun survival stuff. Subscribe to this channel if you have not. See the weekly updates, and we'll say at the first few months here, there'll be more than just weekly updates. We'll have some bonus stuff like this random little piece of gear here, but subscribe. Comment, let me know what you thought was good or dumb. Like if you did like it, don't like if you don't like it. Hit that dislike button, let me know how much you didn't like it, in fact. Please share your stories with me on the Instagram channel. or via email at hardongearchannel@gmail.com. Maybe we'll get some of those stories up here on the channel and talk about. But for now, this is it for this one, and this is Hard On Gear Channel signing off.